Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you grabbed your popcorn. So yes, this is now November 7th on Sabbath and Saturday evening. And so I'm like going to trade in my car Beulah for their Hyundai Elantra, the Value Edition. And so I was super excited. But before I left, my dad sent me a text message and said, don't be afraid to walk away. Be prepared to walk away. And I'm like, Daddy, I've got experience walking away at these dealerships because they're crazy. And nobody's going to pressure me into buying a car today. Not this one. No. And so I was like, but I felt so at peace because I knew that God had gave me the go ahead, go get the car. I was like, okay, well, sure, but this is my car. I'm going to get it tonight. And so I was super excited. All right. Back to where we left off. And so we're doing the little deal. I saw online the price and it was discounted. And so I was like, that's what I'm going to buy the car for. But, they'd be playing games at the dealership. And so I don't even know where to start. They came to me. Oh no, it was some time. It was some time. But what was at the negotiation table was this little devotional, and I was like, this is a strange place for like a devotional. And so I just started thumbing through while they were like looking at the trade-in value for my car and running the numbers of like what they wanted to sell me the car for. And I was just like, God, I know you're here with me. Look at this little devotional is here with your word in it. And so they come back with this sheet of paper and I was like reading it like, oh no, like my throat, I felt a lump in my chest and I was like, did I play myself? Like, this is way more than I anticipated ever paying. Like, I was so upset and I didn't even know what to do. I was like, not arguing, but I was just like, that's not what I saw online, And then they came back with something else and was like, well, these are the fees and these are all this and stuff. And I was just like, this is crazy. And they're like, what were you expecting to pay? Like, this car is worth $22,540. And I was like, yeah, but online I saw that it was selling for $15,000. And I was so sad. But I didn't say it like that. I was like, yeah, but online, because your girl had to learn how to put some bass in her chest after going through all these dealerships before I got even the first Beulah or whatever. Because Nissan and the first Hyundai, they were playing games. And so God taught me how to be stronger, And so I was like, no deal. Let me call my dad first, though. And so I called him, and I was like, we were talking, and I was like, yes, Daddy, I understand that the Hyundai Accent is cheaper. I am looking at the Elantra, but the Hyundai Accent is cheaper at the other place. I don't know. But it was just like, I was just talking to my dad in the dealership and whatever. And then the guy was like squirming, and he was like looking at somebody else. He's really upset. And then I was like, thank you so much for waiting for me to get here, because the dealership was actually closing when I got there, but they waited because I called ahead and told them I was on my way. And so I was like, thank you, I appreciate your time, but I gotta go. Give me my incomplete registration that I gave you to transfer the car, and I'll go home in my little Beulah, because God is gonna take me home. I trust him. Anyway, I get in the car and I cry and I cry and I cry, and I'm like, God, I know that I'm gonna get that car. I know it, but this is not the time. This is not the time. And I know your word says that the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and it addeth no sorrow to it. And so, God, I understand that the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. But God, I know you have blessed it, and then I'm going to get that car. But tonight is not the night. I'm just sad because I was really hoping it would be tonight, because I knew God wanted me to have that car. I know God wanted me to have that car. And I was so excited and so sad and discouraged. And so I left the dealership. And then I called the first Hyundai people. And I was like, hey, my friend. No, I texted the guy because he gave me his number from a month ago or whatever. And I was like, hey, Jay, how are you doing? I'm really interested in the Hyundai Elantra, the Value Edition. Can you send me like a point point by point compared. Sorry guys, can you send me a point by point breakdown of the price and everything that I'm gonna have to pay, including the documentation, including the fees like licensing, registration, whatever, DMV, whatever, everything that I would have to pay. Please send it to me. And he was like, okay, and he sent it to me, and I was like, wow, this is so much cheaper. I was so excited, and I was like, AJ, thank you so much. And then so I pray, and I'm like, God, I know you and I were in this thing, and you say that I can get this car, but my dad has been with me this whole entire time. Like, he wants me to get the accent because it's cheaper, and I understand that, but I know, God, you want me to have something with value because I am a valuable child of yours, and you love me. You love me, and you have blessed this car. And so I was like, do I go behind my dad's back and get the car or what? And so God was like, no, don't do that. And so I called my dad, and I was like, Daddy, I understand you want me to get the Hyundai Accent because it's a cheaper model and it makes sense. However, I want the Hyundai Elantra, the value edition with the sunroof and the Apple CarPlay. And he was like, he was sleeping, by the way, because there's a time difference, 3 hours between here and Connecticut. And he woke up and he was like, okay, baby, that's the car you want. That's the car you're going to get. And I sent him like the price of what the first guy from the dealership sent me. And he was like, okay, but that's just not the price you're going to pay. And I was like, Daddy, I'm so bad at this negotiating thing. Like, it's like they tell me the price and all I do is just walk away. Like, I'm bad. Like, I just know how to walk away because I can't even be like, can you bring this? Like, I'm just bad. And so he was like, no, you're doing good. You're doing good. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, well, what do I do then? And he said, well, you're going to take those numbers from the first guy and bring them to a third dealership and tell them that they got to beat these numbers or you're just walking. And I was like, I ran out of Hyundai dealerships in my area. There is no third dealership, whatever. And so I was like, whatever, okay, whatever. But that was it for the night. I was going to bed in peace, knowing that I have honored my father and my father. And so I was like, all right, cool. The next day is a Sunday. And I knew that the second dealership was going to call me, like, just because, they're going to continue with the negotiation and stuff like that. And so I was like racking my brain, what am I going to tell them when they call me? Because I want them to bring the number down. And I'm like, I got to tell them about my God. I got to tell them about Jesus, and tell them that like, I don't know. I had something to tell them. Let me tell them something. Because like I thought, well, maybe they're Christians, because of the devotional, so they would understand where I was coming from, and they would just negotiate and give me the car for free because I'm a fellow Christian. Listen, I had been reading also that God takes from the wicked and gives it to the righteous. So, I'm not wrong. I was just like, God, somebody's gonna give me this car for free. Somebody's gonna give me this car. Anyway, so they did call. And they were like, hey, what can we do? And I said, listen, while I was there, I was reading a devotional, and this is real life. I was reading like a book on the negotiation table that you had in your building. And I just wanted to let you know that I serve the God of that devotional. And he has given me a number, and I just really don't feel comfortable going above this number. And he said, okay, I really understand, you have a budget and whatever, and we really want to help you. Maybe it doesn't have to be that car, but we don't have to like cancel everything, we can help you find the car that you want in your price range and whatever. And I was like, okay, but I wanted to have certain features. And he said, okay, well, let's work it out. And so I was like, it has to be red. Now I want the red car. They didn't have the blue that I wanted, but now I wanted it because I'm like, yeah, this is going to be God's love to me, and I'm under the blood of Jesus. And yeah, warning, this is very godly filled testimony, okay? And so I was like, I want the red one. I wanted to have a sunroof, and I wanted to have Apple CarPlay. And he was like, okay, we will, thank you for that information. We will look for it for you and whatever. And I was like, okay. So I'm excited, waiting to hear back from this guy. Like, we got the car for you. We're going to give it to you for $15,000, whatever. I don't know. And so I didn't hear from him. But then on Monday. It was Monday because that was Sunday. Monday, on my lunch break, I was like, just looking for other Hyundai dealerships. Like, remembering what my dad said, bring it to the third dealership and see what they're going to do. And so I was just looking for another dealership, and I found one an hour away, and I was like, just putting an inquiry or whatever, right? And so the lady called me like really soon, and I was like, okay. And so she's like, hi, we saw that you're ready for okay, I'm gonna break here and then I'm gonna continue in the next thing, but it gets better. Just want to let you know I end up with a car, but you got to figure out how much I paid for it, okay?